It's just a little red house, full of laughter and quiet little moments. But before the fun begins, we need to make our furniture. Let's start with the dining table. First, grab the pieces, B13 for the tabletop and B12 for the legs. Using a bit of glue, carefully attach the legs to the bottom of the table. Now, time to make a cozy little tablecloth. Cut out the paper template, then use it to cut the red plaid fabric into shape. Gently glue the cloth onto the tabletop. Don't forget to secure all 4 corners. Once it's dry, it should look something like this. Simple and charming. Now that the table's ready, let's have fun decorating it. First, lay down the delicate lace on both sides. Then we place the cake right in the center. Next comes the kettle, a book, a newspaper, and finally a tray of fruit to bring it all to life. Let's move on to the sideboard. We'll start with the fruit basket. Grab the small golden torus. This will be our basket base. Add a dab of glue inside and begin placing in the tiny dried plants. And for a pop of colour, top it off with the red foam berries. Now let's make the photo frame. Cut out the paper frame piece. Fold it in half. Glue the inside and carefully trim around the shape. Once all your sideboard decorations are ready, it's time to style the shelf. Start by laying the lace cloth neatly over the top. Then place your fruit basket, the little trophy, your handmade photo frame, and finally add the vintage style postcards. It's the little details that really bring the space to life. Now, let's move on to the sofa. Start by cutting out the backrest shape on the red velvet fabric using the template. Then, cut out the oval-shaped cardboard piece. This will form the structure of the backrest. Fold the oval piece in half and glue it right in the center of the backside of the velvet fabric. Now carefully apply glue around the edges of the oval. Fold and stick down the top first, then the bottom, and finally the sides. Once it's dried, your backrest should look something like this. Next, let's work on the seat cushion. Just like before, cut your velvet fabric, take wooden piece B15 and wrap it neatly with the fabric, just like wrapping a tiny present. Cut out the fabric following the armrest template. Fold it in half and glue the layers together. Once that dries, fold it again and glue. Now that all the pieces are ready, let's assemble the sofa. First, attach the armrests to either side of the seat cushion. Once the arms are secure, attach the backrest. And finally, top it off with a cute little pillow. There's something magical about a perfectly cozy miniature sofa. Let's create a cozy little tea table with a game of chess, of course. We'll start by making the chessboard. First, cut out a red square and a checkerboard piece. Take the red square and fold all four corners in towards the center to form a smaller square. Then flip it over and glue the checkerboard right on the front. Now we'll need a few chess pieces. Cut out 3 tiny round beads from the golden bead chain and place them around the chessboard like little game pieces. Now onto the tea table itself. Cut out your lace piece using the lace template. Take the wooden oval tabletop and attach 2 legs underneath. Once it's dry, gently glue the lace on top of the table. Place the chessboard right in the center, and for a final touch, add 2 small white beads on either side. That'll be our teacups. A quiet game and a cup of tea sounds like the perfect afternoon in Bella's living room. Now let's put together Bella's little layer shelf. First, we'll get all the decorations ready. Cut out Bella's photo and glue the golden frame neatly on top. Next, cut out the lace using the lace template. Now it's time to assemble everything. Place the lace on the shelf, making sure to glue it right up to the edge for a clean finish. Then take a golden bead and glue it onto the shelf. This will become a tiny flower pot. Carefully tuck in some dried plants to turn it into a sweet little mini plant. Finally, place Bella's framed photo beside the plant. And just like that, the layer shelf is ready. Charming, delicate, and full of personality. Let's finish up with some small but charming details. Start by cutting out the clock and the rectangular mat from the template. Grab your clock cutout and the small copper-colored circle. Apply glue around the edge of the copper circle and carefully stick it right on top of the clock for a metallic frame. Next, cut out the carpet from the yellow plaid fabric using the template. Then take the mat you prepared earlier and glue it onto the center of the fabric. Now let's make a seat cushion. Cut the fabric according to the cushion template. Then fold it into 4 sections to form a soft little square. And finally, place a tiny book right on top. It's these little touches that make Bella's living room feel cozy and lived in. Now get your wallpapers ready. And let's start assembling the house. Now the little red house is all ready. Everything in its place, just the way it should be. A cozy world filled with tiny things and quiet wonder.